Alright guys, Tony here, and I'm just going to cover some very basic Quora traffic hacks that we can use so that you can get more traffic to your content. But specifically what I want to do is focus on how we can get more YouTube views via Quora answers, and the reason for that is because if we're getting more targeted video views, then it's easier to rank that video and bring some extra traffic from Quora into YouTube, which is going to give your channel a little bit more authority as well. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go through these one at a time. I suggest that you try to do all of these as much as you can, but if you can't, then at least do the first one I'm going to show you right now. Now, some of this stuff I have actually picked up from other YouTube videos that I've been watching. I will put the links to those videos underneath as well. They are not all sort of my own strategies, but I've been doing some research on Quora, and to give those guys the credit they deserve, I will put the links to the videos in the description as well, because some of those guys you really want to go and check out their channels, etc. as well. So I will recommend who they are and where to go and check out more from their videos too. So the first one is the ad campaign traffic finder hack. Okay, so this is a really nice strategy that I noticed a couple of days ago, and this strategy is basically going into an ad campaign settings where we can do some keyword searches, and the results will pull back how many visitors and views on that particular question in the past week. So you can see what is actually what questions are actually driving traffic right now. Okay, so that way you've got a lot more traffic potential, and you can see exactly where you want to target your efforts, okay, so that you're not wasting your time. So let's go and have a look and see how that works. Let's just come out of here. Oops. And what I'll do is I'll come over into Quora here, and in Quora what we can do is we can click up here where your image is, and we can come into what is known as the ads manager. Okay, so we can click on that, and that's going to take us into this dashboard here. And what we can do is we can just set up a new campaign. We're not actually going to run an advert. Okay, we're just going to do some basic settings here so that we can get to do the keyword research. That's all we want to do. So I'll keep that as conversions. Conversion event I'll put as generic. Here we'll put here $1,000. We're not going to spend anything, but we'll just put something in there for now, and that allows us to come into this area here. So again, just putting in some details, and when it comes to locations, I'm just going to put in United States. Right, now this is the part that matters, and here the choose primary targeting area. We're going to choose contextual marketing, and then we're going to choose questions. And now when we're in here, the questions, what we will do is we will click on this bulk ad here. You can see that we've got the conversions, contextual targeting, the questions, and then we click on here where it says bulk ad. Okay, now what we can do is we can put in multiple keywords in here. Okay, so you only really need to do 2, maybe maximum 3 keywords in here from my experience. If you put in too many, sometimes it doesn't give you any answers back, but if you cut it down to 2 or 3, you get answers coming back. So you know, it's just one of those kind of situations where you can maybe try 2 or 3 times with different sets of keywords just to see what results that you can get back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in some generic stuff. I'll put in YouTube SEO, for example, and I'll put in let's see, YouTube advertising. Well, actually I'm not going to put in advertising. I'll put in YouTube optimization, and I will put in here as well video SEO, just to see what we get back, and I'll click on continue. Now those are very, very, very closely related. Okay, so if you want to run it again with a different set, then you would do that. That's why I pulled out the advertising, because I would do that as a different sort of set of keywords. So what you can see now is the questions to target. It will tell you the weekly views. So you can see here, this one here is going to be good because it's got like 200 to 350 weekly views. Now that might not sound like a lot, and it probably isn't a lot, to be honest, but this is for a YouTube SEO niche. Okay, I have tools and softwares that help to rank and get more traffic from YouTube. So this is what I'm looking at for my own sort of campaigns. Even for me, 200 to 350 is good, because I'm sending people to an offer for my software. So even if I get them just to opt in to a YouTube SEO checklist, for example, then it becomes really valuable to me. So even though it's only 200 to 350 views per week, if I give a decent answer and I get some decent traffic coming from that, then I will be automatically building my list, because once you set this up one time, you don't really need to do it again. So all I need to do is send them over to one of my checklists. And my checklists basically look like these. And you can see if I just open this one up, these are Chrome extensions. But when people actually install this and then they go to open it the first time, they're presented with an opt-in form. Okay, so this opt-in form, it's got a very, very high conversion rate, because they've already kind of taken an action at that point to be able to get this installed. So they usually just give you the email anyway, because they've already taken that initial action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link people over to the page that they can do the download for my Chrome extension, you can see here, and so they would install it from here. Okay, so that's what we would do with that. So basically, this might not seem like a lot of views, but it depends on what the purpose is, what the goal is. For me, it's to do list building. Okay, if it's automatic, I don't care if it's 5 people or 10 people a week coming into my list, because that does grow. Okay, and over time that can result in quite a lot of new people coming in. And once we've got them into the list, where I don't even need any complicated funnels, I just need to send them over to that Chrome extension page. From there, I can remarket to them multiple times in many, many different ways, because I can send them push notifications from this app. Okay, I can even send push notifications right into their desktop. Okay, from there we can send them SMS messages. And we can also send them emails. Okay, so that's different ways that we can do it. And plus, we've just added the Android version for these apps as well, which means if they want to install the YouTube SEO checklist, or the YouTube ads checklist that I've got here, for example, and they install that as an Android app, I can send them push notifications that will appear on a telephone. I don't even need an SMS at that point. I can just send them push notifications that will come there. So for me, this is not bad numbers, because I know that if I can go and find 10, 20, 30, 40 like this, then I've got a lot of possibilities for being able to build a list automatically, just by spending a few hours setting this up, or getting someone else to do it for me, which is my preference, to be honest. Okay, so the other thing to take into account, say for example I didn't use those particular keywords, maybe I go and check some other keywords. Maybe I do something like keto diet, and maybe I do something like keto recipe. Okay, I'll just do 2 and click on this. What we might find is that different niches have different volumes. So I've seen in here like volumes like 1,000, 1,500 weekly views. That's a lot. You know, if there's a YouTube video, for example, got 1,000, 1,500 weekly views, and I could get next to it as like an up next kind of video, I would be very, very, very interested to be able to, place my video next to that, so that it would be on the up next or recommended section, because you know that there's going to be traffic there, and it's the same kind of thing that we can use in here. So that's the first sort of tip that you can use, is just go and use the Quora ads to be able to go and find the questions that have got some answers. Now you can look and see how many answers, etc., how many people following. That's all good and well. Just focus on the traffic, focus on creating a decent answer, and if you want to, you can create videos that you can embed in here that are what we call blind bullet videos, and those are just kind of videos that create curiosity. They're basically getting people to click to learn more, because you're telling them everything, all the benefits of whatever it is you're recommending, but you don't tell them what it is. If you want to know how to do those, we actually do them. We sell them for just like $7.50 each. So if you're interested in that, then we can do those for you, but you need to give us the bullet points and we can make the videos for you. So anyway, let's go into the next tip that we got in here. If I come back up again, I think I scrolled way past that. Let's see, we're here. Not here. Right, okay. So second one is to create your own Quora spaces. This is a very, very, very good tip. Okay, this is a good tip because you're less likely to be getting any problems from where you're posting in the kind of answers that you're given, because it's your own space. So what you can do is you can click here to create a space, and you can give your space a name. So for example, I might have like here YouTube SEO tools. Okay, now I've got multiple YouTube SEO tools, and you can see that name is available, and that is a very, very, very good name. Okay, so I can put in here for about okay, you can see discussing the very best YouTube SEO and traffic tools available today. That allows me, just by putting that word traffic in there, allows me to do some PPC tools that we've got as well. So I can create the space, okay, and we can go and create the images, etc. as well. I'd rather get someone else to do that for me, but what we can do is we can add content. It can be like a blog post, you can add questions, etc. as well. And what you can do then is build this out. Now if you get someone else to do this for you who understands what they're doing with this, then this can grow very, very well. Now I did see some blog posts over the past few days where a guy has got like 130,000 people following his Quora space, and one of the ways he's managed to get them is by embedding videos and putting in some questions, etc. that people will come to, and eventually you start to get people who are sort of regular posters or regular people who are answering, and you ask them if they want to ask some questions within your space as well. That brings in even more traffic from the people who are sort of following them, etc. as well. So that can basically multiply just by reaching out to other people that you might find. That if you even start to post more regular questions in here, like 5, 10, 20 a day, for example, that can grow up quite quickly. So in that situation, if I wanted to do as many as like 10 a day, I would bring this back down to YouTube SEO and not YouTube SEO tools, because that allows me to do tools, that allows me to do tutorials, that allows me to cover different aspects of YouTube SEO that is not just about tools and software. Okay, so the more you want to post your questions, the broader it needs to be. But for my purpose, I want to get people looking at my tools. Specifically, I want to get people to go over and get my YouTube ads checklist, to get my YouTube SEO checklist, my YouTube suggested video optimization checklist, etc., etc., because that gets people into my email list. From there, I can do remarketing to them multiple times. Okay, that just gets them into my funnel, so that when they're in my funnel, I can nurture them, and immediately when they sign up for the YouTube SEO checklist, for example, I send them a case study. That case study is that we show them setting up a campaign to rank for multiple keywords, and then 4 days later I show them the results, how we're ranking for multiple keywords. That grabs their attention. Now you can do the same thing as well, even if you don't have a case study, and the way that you do that is go and find other people's case studies on YouTube. How do you do that? Just like I've done here. I've told you about the guy who's got 130,000 people in his Quora space, that he's now got access to being able to reach at least a reasonable proportion of those. And if he can do his marketing properly when they first come in and grab their attention, there's a very, very good chance he could take a reasonable percentage of that and get them onto an email list, for example. Okay, like I would try to do. So if I have 130,000 people come into a space like this, and I'm promoting my checklist where I can get people to opt in, okay, because they're valuable, they're tools, we can update them in real time, we can keep them modernized, we can keep them up to date with the content just by updating within our app dashboard for Lead Blaster, which is the app that I built for creating these Chrome extensions, these checklists. Okay, we can update everything in real time. So if something changes and I want to add something, or I want to correct a typo mistake or whatever, I can do it in real time inside the Lead Blaster dashboard. That allows me to be really flexible with these kind of audiences. So if I've got something like 130,000 people coming in here, I will be split testing all the time what my message is, the different kinds of checklists that they can get, the different offers that they can be presented with, so that I'm getting a fair amount of those people coming in. So just looking at that possibility and what we can do, you can just imagine how many people you can get into a checklist, for example. So let's come into my development thing in here. I just want to see just the latest numbers, what we, you know, the kind of numbers that we can get from these Chrome store checklists, because it can grow rapidly. Your email list can grow rapidly. If we come down here, you can see I've got 14,393 users for that particular checklist in here. 14,393 users, and that's quite significant. Now, we had like 4-star ratings for a long time, so somebody's obviously given us a sort of lower rating. And in that kind of situation, all we need to do is we just update the tool, some more information, put something really cool, new in there, and there's always new stuff coming out. And again, you can get that kind of information from other people's videos, just like I'm doing right now, sharing that content with you. Okay, so Quora Spaces is very, very good. Now, what I would do with this as well is I would get somebody to do this for me. You can find people who are available to outsource that kind of work, and if you don't know anybody or you can't find on Fiverr.com, we will be starting a service for that. It's going to be something that I want to focus on, because forums and Quora and YouTube and places like Pinterest, for example, we can drive a lot of traffic just by setting things up nicely, like one time. But if you want to keep it going, you've got people who understand those particular platforms that can post in there regular for you. Okay, if they're doing that on a regular basis for you, okay, it doesn't even have to be 10-20 questions, for example. In Quora, it can be just like 1 per week, but it's regular all the time in your space. There's always new people being brought in, always new questions. Even if it's only once per week, then it just keeps building over time, even though you're not spending huge amounts of money to manage it. Okay, but you're getting people to do it for you who know what they are doing, and you don't need that learning curve. You just spend a few bucks and you expect that you're going to start to build your audience so that you can remarket to them. So if you're doing affiliate marketing, if you're doing local marketing, or if you've got a business that you want to promote, this is still a fantastic way that you can drive targeted traffic to whatever your offers and content is about. Okay, next one is to answer 3 questions. Okay, now this is a very, very simple way to do it. Okay, now what I'm going to share with you here is this tool called questionspro.io. Questions as in plural, questionspro.io. Go over there, and what you can do with Questions Pro is you can sign up for a 2-week trial, but you can actually still use it after the 2 weeks, and you can see here, try for free. Okay, so I'm just going to log in at the moment because this is such a fantastic tool. You really got to see this. And what you can do is you can create a project as soon as you sign up, and then it's going to ask you to give 10 keywords. Now, when you've created your project, you add your 10 keywords, and then your 10 keywords are going to appear here. So your keywords, you can see here, I've got like email list and marketing strategy and YouTube marketing, affiliate marketing. Let's have a look at affiliate marketing. You can see it's 49 questions it's found. Discovered questions, monthly questions 99, weekly questions 98. Okay, and you can see here how many views each of those questions have had, how many followers they've had as well, and you can see the last time an answer was added to any of these questions. So this is, in a way, it's better than the Quora ad strategy, but it doesn't tell you how many views in the last week, but it does tell you how many views this has had, and it does tell you how many followers it's had. Okay, so you can see here, that's for the discover questions. If I just bring that up and I go into this one here for the weekly questions, the 98 in here, then you can see I've got less followers in here, but you can have a look as well. Like, is affiliate marketing suitable only for bloggers? And this is on page 1 of Google. Okay, what does it take to become a successful affiliate marketer? This is on page 1 of Google. Okay, we can hijack their rankings. There's plenty of opportunities here. So those are 3 tips that you can use. The YouTube, the Quora ads strategies, so that you're just doing the campaign settings to find out the questions that have had traffic in the past week, or get traffic every week. Second one is to create your own spaces, okay, and get someone to manage it for you. Even if there's only 1 or 2 or 3 questions every single week that you're posting in there, keep it active so that it keeps bring more traffic in, and you can add more to it as and when you get time. Add more content, some blog posts, that kind of stuff. Start some discussions, that kind of stuff. You can do that very, very easily. That's what Quora is about. It's a social network as well. Okay, and third, use Questions Pro. You can go and get a 2-week trial of that. Just go to questionspro.io. I'm not an affiliate with them, but you can go over there and give them some traffic and sign up with them, because this is a fantastic tool and it's worth getting for the monthly, and I'm telling that without placing an affiliate link. Okay, so I recommend this very, very much. This tool, it's not my tool, but it is. They've done a fantastic job with it. So that's Quora in 3 unique ways that you can drive traffic, and 3 ways that are really quite easy to be able to take advantage of, especially the Questions Pro. Thanks for watching.